Linda Byrne, Portlaoise General, proposing motion 93. This ADC instructs the incoming executive to represent their members recruited prior to 2006 on Class A PRSI and seek to have the compulsory retirement age of 65 abolished, corresponding in line with the state pension qualifying age.
The executive position is we're seeking a remit on this motion. The speaker spoke about the people who retire at 65 and having to sign on because the state pension age is now 66. The next motion, motion 94, refers to a transition payment to bridge that gap. So that will address that issue. But the other part of the motion is talking about basically extending retirement age, and our policy very clearly is not to extend retirement age. On post has been referred to, and that there has been an extension in the retirement age in on post. What hasn't been referred to is that there was a deficit in the pension in on post of over 100 million. Where our members in on post, if they had not voted in favour of this measure, which isn't giving them a choice, it means that they have to stay on, some of them to 67 or 68 by the time that they retire. In some cases, they will have worked not 40 years, but possibly closer to 50 years by the time they retire, if they came in at 18 and now have to work till 68.
I never thought pension age would be coming quite soon, but it is. And I understand where Portlaoise General are coming from. Like if I retire at 65, there's a year between that and 66. And I have to go down and sign on the dole, which is €188, I think. And the pension, contributory pension, is 230.30. Now it's just plain economics. You lose €50 a week. So even that for me is just not, it's not feasible. But at the same time, I don't want to have to stay till 66. People who come in 2004 now have to work till they're 67, 68, and it's just not good enough. But I think there was a time when we did have that transition year, when Blair Horn was here as General Secretary, maybe Owen can explain, and we lost it, where you did get that year, that transition year, the very same as if you were still working and you were entitled to a full pension. But I'm not prepared to lose €50 a week, and I don't think we should ask anyone else to either.
And O'Doherty, Department of Transport, and I fall into this as well, this return to work for former civil servants. So I came in before 2004. But my reading of it, what this branch is saying is to seek to have the compulsory retirement age of 65 abolished. I want to retire at 65. I'm exhausted now. Let's talk of 65 because of all the extra work we have to do. But I don't mind retiring at 65 and signing on the dole. It's actually, it might even be job seekers, but I'm afraid they'll offer me a job. That's my biggest worry. But the branch have said the compulsory retirement age, and I think that's fine. I don't mind retiring at 65, but that you'd have a choice. That's what this is about. It's a choice of staying on for another year, so that if I wanted to go at 65, I could go and I could sign on, or I could choose to stay that one more year. It's about choice. I think that's what this branch is saying, and I'd love them to clarify it for me, please.
Yes, I do agree. It is about choice, and no, I am not prepared to remit it. Please, delegates, support your own, because by rejecting it, you're putting so many more people in the same position. I have a couple of years to go, but I don't fancy going on the dole. I really would feel I would love to stay on for another year, but the offer is still there that I can go if I want to. Please support the motion.
In relation to this motion, again, what Paul has said to you, I'd ask you to consider it again and to the branch. And we have to, the problem is the motion says that the compulsory retirement age at 65 is abolished. That means there is no retirement age. Now, that's not our policy. Our policy is to maintain retirement at a point in people's lives where they can have a reasonable retirement ahead of them. And yes, that they have a pension. The next motion, 94, deals with that. It deals quite detailed with replacing the lost transition pension with a proper structured payment to get people up across the gap between retiring at 65 and the payment date of 67, 68. So the second motion 94 does for the branch what it wants done. The danger with 93 is it opens the opportunity to the employer. Do you remember when they actually abolished the retirement age completely at one stage for new entrants? And eventually they clawed it back. I mean, we almost died in horror at the thought, because you could have to be there till you're 70. We've got to be very careful what doors we open. Thank you.
Thanks all.